Hey, how's it going, everybody? David here, and welcome to another reaction. This episode, we are diving into Teen Wolf Season 2, Episode number 10, called Fury. Hopefully, you've been enjoying the series. Hopefully, you are having a wonderful day. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Head on over to Patreon for the full, uncut, unedited reactions over there. Episodes extra early over there as well. With that being said, last episode was pretty good. Obviously, we have something's going on with Matt and the Kanama, because obviously at the end of the last episode, the Kanama was sort of protecting Matt. So I knew something was really tricky going on with Matt. He just rubbed me the wrong way. So maybe they'll dive more into that. Obviously, the death of Victoria, aka Allison's mother. That was very powerful and impactful as well. More emotional than I thought it was going to be, because obviously Victoria's sort of the bad guy, being obviously someone who hunts down Scott. So to me, I didn't think I was going to have any emotion towards it, but it was definitely a very powerful moment, and it made me respect her as a mother and, you know, her wishes or whatever. But basically, we're diving into we're 3 episodes away from the season finale of season number 2, which is great, which is crazy. It came so quick. I'm enjoying it. I love the season so far. Pretty much buckle your seatbelts, guys. Let's ride.
Back tomorrow.
All right, so where does Matt go? Because he obviously knew something. Is the first person that Kanama encounters its master? I'm so confused. Why did Matt look surprised?
Isn't it obvious?
Not
Our
really.
swim team sucks. They haven't won in like 6 years. Okay, we don't have a motive yet. I mean, come on, does Harris?
What do you want me to do?
Well, it's progress.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Stop.
Let's
Did
say,
you
is
see
that not him?
Scroll back. That's him. That's Matt.
All I see is the back of someone's head.
Matt's head, yeah. I sit behind him in history. He's got a very distinct cranium. It's weird.
Are you crazy?
All right, fine.
That's
Look at his
him,
deck,
though.
Huh?
If I can get an official ID, I can get a search warrant. Styles, go to the front desk. Tell them to let Scott's mom in when she gets here.
On it.
They're not gonna let him into it. They're not gonna let him do this. They're gonna shut it down. Oh, we're late.
That sound. What was it?
Dude, he's something else. This man's always got something up his sleeve.
For several hours.
That could definitely get someone hurt. Everyone.
Scott, you can't change. I know you're risking showing Styles' dad, but those bullets wouldn't hurt him, right? How does this work, though? I need the answers. So this was gonna make Allison, I'm telling you, turn.
Blood and destruction that would have Derek and his wolves howling not for mercy, but for their own sweet deaths.
It's Derek.
Thank God.
Wait. With Peter? Or Jackson? Oh my God, dude.
Moon. Except for you, Styles. What do you turn into?
Abominable snowman. But it's more of like a wintertime thing, you know, seasonal.
Seriously?
Bitch. Wait. Back. Mom, stop, Mom.
Oh, the reveal?
I said, get back.
What are you doing, Mom?
Scott. Call.
After you.
So my question is, why not turn and whoop
Why don't you
ass?
just go? You think the evidence matters that much, huh?
Not at her age.
She's almost 18. She knows there's a difference between revenge and retribution. Don't you, Allison?
What are you thinking, Allison?
Make the decision from a vantage point
What are you
of
thinking?
strategy over emotion.
Then we killed him.
Where are they? Where is Isaac, Boyd, and Erica?
All right, so what do? Do we just sit here and wait to die?
Unless I can figure out a way to push the toxin out of my body faster, like triggering the healing process.
What do you do?
Oh my god.
Oh, gross.
I thought he was peeing. I'm like, what the heck?
He thinks it's funny.
They threw you in.
That's why he was freaking out.
I yell that I can't swim, but nobody listens. But then came the Argent's funeral, and everything changed.
We're about to get all the answers. I like this a lot.
For me, and I knew he would do it again.
There we go. That was the answer I needed.
I
Just to test it out.
Oil change, and guess what? He'd even recognize me.
David,
We're
I
getting
can
there.
move my toes.
We're getting nowhere, Derek. What was the point of that? You just threw him and then that's it? You're gonna break that glass. Or just break down the door.
I need to go. Just stay out of my way.
That's not the Scott thing to do. You know that. Somebody else is about to bite it. And she threw her only weapon down? Or does she have a knife? This girl came with one arrow.
If I can't have you, no one can.
This is where I'm getting confused. Like, what? What is going on right now? And Gerard don't even be doing nothing. It's Peter! The guy said it needed to be here. Let's go. Hey, Mom. Yeah, this is me. They zoomed in too much. You could see that the beard isn't real. Oh, that's the worst. You gonna drown this guy? Oh, that's the worst. It's the worst thing you could do to him.
Especially me.
All right, season 2, episode number 10 of Teen Wolf. My God, man, that was a great episode. I'm so like I just want to give it the perfect 10 so bad. So bad, but what I'll do instead is I'll give it a very high 9, a very respectable great 9. That was outstanding, man. That was a really good episode. A really, really good episode. It was very action-packed. It was very what's the word I'm looking for? Like, a lot of information was thrown at us. A lot of the questions that I had, I still have a couple, but a lot were answered. Obviously, the Canema was being controlled by Matt. It makes a lot of sense. Matt was at most of the scenes that things were going down. He was just sort of he was just like on the afterburner, the back burner. So you really didn't think it'd be Matt. He was just a guy giving a camera to someone, or, you know what I'm saying, taking pictures of random people. You didn't really put 2 and 2 together, and so that reveal was pretty cool. And him explaining it is what I really needed to happen, because obviously I was very confused as to why or how was Matt controlling this. So in some way, shape, or form, it somehow ties into Leahy, which is obviously Isaac's dad. So what I'm getting from this, and please, by all means, if I'm not understanding something, let me know in the comment section, whether it's on Patreon, whether it's YouTube, whatever the case may be. let me know. I know on YouTube it'll be like at least 3-4 episodes behind. Anyways, we'll already be in season 3 by the time you were able to let me know. But I'm all for everyone's sort of thoughts behind something. So this is what I take from it, or at least what I took from what was being said. Isaac and Matt were friends at one point, correct? When they were younger? Because that's what I'm sort of getting the vibe of, is that Isaac and Matt were friends. Matt went over to Isaac's house to hang out. They were going to do an exchange or whatever on some toys or something. Like, they were buddies. And Leahy and the swim team were also there, and they were celebrating something. They were drinking, yada, yada, yada. They threw Matt into the water. Matt was drowning while everyone else was laughing and having a good time. Then, ever since that happened, Matt has had this sort of rage towards Mr. Leahy. He had this sort of hatred towards him. That's what I'm getting from it. Again, if I'm way off, please, by all means, let me know. And so, you know, he was going on with life. Nothing was happening. And then when he took a photo of Leahy, there was rage inside of him. And he explained something about, you know, the Fury thing and everything like that. And so I still don't quite understand how the Kanema thing happened. How Jackson somehow got tied into this whole Kanema thing. But some way, somehow, he became the Kanema. And then when we were trying to get the, like, what it means, like what exactly the Kanema is looking for, I thought initially we said that it was looking for a friend. And then we find out it's looking for a master. So is the master just someone who can sort of... So I'm trying to see, because the Kanema first came after Leahy was already dead to the Kanema, right? Like, I'm saying, like, once it was revealed as Jackson, or was that the same night? And did Matt, like, did the whole thing happen same night where Matt was just in the driveway in the street right in front of Jackson's house? Jackson comes out as the Kanema. They have the moment, and then all of a sudden he's in control. And the first person he attacks is Leahy because of Matt. Like, is that what it is? Is it something along those lines? Because I kind of feel like I understand what's going on, but at the same time, I'm kind of like confused. And so I'm glad they kind of sort of threw information at me that made sense. But it seems as though Matt had it out for Leahy because of him. He just had some rage towards him. There was obviously some things being said when they pulled him out from the pool. He was telling him to never tell anyone that, like, there was so much going on. And so that makes sense why Leahy, or why Matt was targeting the swim team, because they were all there as well. But then the confusing part becomes, to me, what does this have to do with Mr. Harris? Was just Mr. Harris being framed for something that he wasn't a part of? Why, if Allison was being someone that was being, like, there were pictures being taken of Allison, the Kanema never went after Allison? There's questions. There's a lot of questions I have, but not because the episode was a bad episode by any means. It was a great ass episode. I just think that I got so invested in it. It took a while for me to get invested. I got so invested in this episode where I was just like, wow, all the strings are attaching. Like, they're all, you know, everything's starting to form up. It's starting to, you know, make sense. That there's like, man, I must have missed a lot of dialogue, because there's so many questions coming away from this too. I feel like this was an episode, I think, that they were giving me answers, and because of my lack of understanding in previous episodes, I think right here I got answers to a lot of it. But then at the same time, there were things that, because I didn't understand it before, it's so confusing now. Because there were moments in which, when Matt had Allison on the ground and he yelled, it was like, whoa, that's not human. The way he just yelled like that was almost like something was like possessing him. So there's definitely questions there. Obviously now there's the reveal to mom that that Scott is indeed a werewolf. We have Derek listening into what Scott and Gerard's little talk was about, so that's gonna make Derek no longer trust Scott. That's really bad. Obviously Deaton told Derek not to trust anything that Peter has to say. I think he also said not to trust Gerard, but I could be wrong. And then no Lydia in this episode, which is kind of odd. Peter did show up at the end. We see that Gerard, then kills Matt, and the Kanema. It's weird. The Kanema was afraid of water because Matt was afraid of water. Now that Gerard is taking over him, so that was probably the master plan, was to draw the Kanema's master out, kill him, take over, and now Gerard has the Kanema on his side while they go attack Derek and his pack. So definitely Gerard has gotten a lot stronger. He's been interesting to say the least, because he's done some really interesting things, Gerard has, but he hasn't been as impactful yet to me, where I thought he was going to come in and just like start kicking ass and taking names. He really has just been kind of sort of setting up his plan for the future. And now, like Deaton said, the pieces are falling into place. I think he's powerful more now than ever, because obviously having the Kanema on your side is definitely something you want. But now he's the master of the Kanema, so I'm sure if he sends him after Derek or anyone in the pack, it's going to be really dangerous, because one swipe in the back of the neck and you are paralyzed. So it's going to be definitely very interesting there. The one downfall I have, and I mentioned it while I was reacting to the episode, it's very tedious. And I know you guys are knowing what exactly I'm talking about, but it confuses me. Where is it? As to why they would have gotten that close to Scott, knowing about the facial hair. And again, it's really tedious. It's really small. So right there, it looks good. Can't spot anything. Totally fine. But then he turns the other way, like he turns the whole cheek, and on the other side, I can't say the same. It looks very, very bad. Or is it just me? Maybe it was just me. I could have sworn there was a camera angle. Oh yeah, I think it's right. I think it's right there. You can't see with my finger, but can't you see kind of where they tried to put makeup over it to make it look, you know what I mean? Like, and it's a really small nitpick. That's why I'm not letting this affect the rating I'm giving it. But you can kind of, like, they got so close to his face, you can kind of see where they, I don't know how makeup and all that stuff works, but I'm assuming they have to put a patch of something for the hair to be there or whatever, because obviously he doesn't have facial hair like this. But it was like, maybe I was just looking too into it. I was so invested into the episode that I was even staring so damn hard at Scott on this scene. But I was like, oh, you can kind of see deep into the facial hair where they try to cover up the makeup to make it look realistic. I don't know. It, for some reason, in the midst of everything, it stood out very noticeably. I don't know if I'm the only one that caught that, or if it's just something that, again, I'm just nitpicking. It just makes me. The show is amazing, guys. The show is absolutely amazing. But there's so many like errors with the directing, the editing, and stuff like that, where I'm like, man, like the show to me has been like, for the most part, a solid 8-9 range. I've been enjoying it crazy. Like, it's crazy how much I've been enjoying this. And I haven't even reached the season that most people say is outstanding and great. But for me, as great as it is already, as really good as it is already, 8-9, what could have really taken it to the next level would be the little things that are so tedious that could have been fixed. if they were just worked on. So like that was too, like, I don't know, to me it was like you're getting too close to him. Now I can see, you know, certain things in the makeup. It'd be like spotting like a mic or something. It would ruin it. I don't know. To me, it would ruin it. But so like that's tedious. That's really tedious. But then like we've had some weird cuts and some weird scenes where there's a fight scene going on. There's no music playing, and it's like, all right, now I could hear like the weird grunts and punches, and this is odd. But then that same scene, music will start playing when Scott was talking, and I'm like, what? Like, did you guys do it the wrong way? What's going on here? Like, I want to hear what he's saying, and now you have music playing so loud that it like buries his voice. So like there's definitely some errors that have been made to me that could have been fixed. I doubt they'll go back and fix it now. It's already too late, but it could have been fixed. It could have been easily done a lot better. Season 1 obviously had way more issues than season 2. I think for the most part the quality has been definitely on the rise in season 2, but there's just these little things that I know it's an MTV show. I know, you know, they're very music heavy, which is fine. I'm cool with it. And if you want to introduce bands and stuff and new music, that's fine. That doesn't bother me that much anymore as it did when I first started watching the show. But then in this show, I feel like, or in this season, I feel like there's just been moments that they kind of like did a really poor job in. So, I mean, again, the facial hair thing, that could be just a tedious thing. Obviously, we know they have to put that on regardless because the fact that they don't have those huge mutton chops or whatever you want to call it for the werewolves. But it just, I don't know, it got close and it made me for a moment think like, oh yeah, like that's fake facial hair. But I didn't want to be like, I didn't want that to be the way that I kind of thought about it or whatever. But no, nonetheless though, a really great, like I said, high 9 episode. Fantastic. Really have no complaints about it. Little downfall with no Lydia in this episode, but I thought the Matt reveal was really cool. The reasons behind Matt. Again, there's a lot of questions, like I said, that I have, and you guys are really good at, you know, letting me know about it, giving me knowledge without spoiling things. So by all means, definitely don't hesitate to do that. Let me know your ratings. Obviously on Patreon, we have a little scale. 1 to 10, which we obviously never go give an episode a 1. That'd be ridiculous. But we have a little scale on Patreon, a little rating system that we go off of, and that lets you guys know, obviously, what you gave the episode. It lets us know what you gave the episode. And so on YouTube, it'd be a little different. So if you're watching up until this point and you want to give a little rating down below, by all means, do it, man. I love it. I love to be able to, and I don't know, I don't want to speak for my brother. I know he's different when he goes about things on YouTube and stuff. He's more into the Patreon stuff. But even on YouTube, man, I love going through the comments and just reading everything you guys have to say. I don't know. It's a way to connect. It's a way to hear your thoughts on things. So I like it. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Head on over to Patreon for the full uncut, unedited reactions over there, episodes and all that extra early over there as well. But I got nothing else to say, guys. Thank you guys so much. Bees.